I think the difference between Australia and some of our allies would be that in those allies, particularly those Five Eyes powers, there were already pre-existing protections in place. In most cases, in Canada with the Bill of Rights, in the United Kingdom, particularly with European Union law, but also some common law positions and other statutory positions in the United Kingdom, the First Amendment in the United States and other laws in New Zealand. But in Australia, these laws occurred. We followed the same trajectory with respect to national security as our Five Eyes allies.
Without the insurance.
Without the backup. And here we are today having this conversation with you, senators. So I think that's the context in which we need to look at it in our recommendation for a Media Freedom Act arise.
One of the points that we've been continually making, and I've found that when we make this point, people start to understand that we're not trying to advocate for journalists per se. We're not suggesting that journalists are a special class of people that deserve special attention or special privilege. What we are protecting is the job that journalists do in keeping government to account.
And the idea of the task force grew out of, was an extension, if you like, the idea of the Media Freedom Act, both of which were designed to build trust in journalism. Now, the task force, in our mind, is to bring together key players, so security forces, politicians, maybe business, certainly journalists and certainly publishers, to get a common accord, to get a common sense of understanding. The best way to get people to understand each other is to lock them in a room for a couple of hours so they're talking about issues that they have opposing views on, as you know. Trust isn't at the end of a light switch. It's an slowly evolving thing.
It would be ironic if the laws that were meant to defend us actually eroded the very thing, or one of the very things we intend to defend in these challenging times. And I think that the task force goes to trying to make sure that doesn't occur to the extent that we possibly can.
Yes.
And it doesn't do it in a way, I think, that would affect in any measure the accountability of people here, or hopefully the professionalism of the journalists that would take part in it, or the role that the law might play in determining either.
Yes.
But it is a very, very important thing. As we you hear a lot about and you read a lot about some of the challenges, to the extent that they're publicly known or publicly disclosed, some of the challenges we're increasingly facing, and I think we all know that the world is changing very, very quickly. In that place, there needs to be a little bit of coherence, not coordination, between government and civil society, business, and in particular in journalism, around what those fundamental values and principles are. That goes to trust. That's what the task force tries to do. That's what the Media Freedom Act tries to make sure we defend and protect. And so, in a nutshell, I think that would be our submission.